is Blanca Molnar, and here are the 5 biggest lessons that I've learned on my grounding practice journey. So my first lesson, grounding looks different for everybody. There is no right or wrong way doing it. I used to believe that a grounding practice needs to look a certain way, like yoga in a yoga class, meditation with soft music in the background. But I learned that this was further from the truth when I was trying to make my toddler sleep one night. She didn't want me to leave her in the dark in her nursery, but my impatience was rising. So there in the dark, I actually started to do some leg lifts next to her crib. I know it sounds funny and I looked funny, but moving my body actually helped me to calm down. I was still there next to her, but I was also more me, moving my body a little bit. In that moment, I learned that actually grounding can look different for everybody, and there is no right or wrong way. There is just only one way, just doing it. Here is my second lesson. A grounding practice doesn't need to be expensive, and money is not the barrier. The world is pushing you to buy expensive wellness programs, equipment, all the new gadgets so you feel better. But don't believe them. You can find other ways. When I moved to London, I was on a very tight budget and I didn't have the money to sign up to go to the gym. But exercising was non-negotiable for me, so I had to find a different way. And that's when I found a little park near the house where I lived and started running. They also had some exercising machines, outdoor exercising machines, and I started to utilize them. Was it perfect? Not at all. But did it work for me? Yes, it did, until I managed to sign up to the gym. You don't need very expensive things to take care of your body. Sometimes actually the simplest and the free practices actually that would stick. Here is my third lesson. A grounding practice doesn't need to look perfect or pretty. It just has to work for you. When I started exercising more consistently, I felt embarrassed because my workouts didn't look very polished, or sometimes I didn't know how to adjust the machines. But I didn't know what I was doing. But day after day, I was keep showing up, and as my body was changing, so my attitude towards exercising. You believe it or not, it's actually fewer people cares about what you are doing in the gym than you think. The goal isn't about perfection. With practice, you actually get better, but supporting yourself in ways that fits for you. So here's my fourth lesson about my exercising routine and grounding practices. Moving your body is an act of showing up for yourself. There were so many seasons in my life when everything felt out of alignment. Raising a toddler, motherhood, running my business, trying to maintain relationships, and all these things were pulling me into 100 different directions. Exercising became my steady point in the storm. It was my anchor where I could just step back from being everything for everybody. Even on days when I would just rather be on the couch and binge watch a show, the choice to exercise and move my body feels like somebody is whispering into my ear, "You matter too." That consistency, those teeny tiny acts of choosing myself are keeping me calm and carrying on. Here is my fifth lesson about my grounding practices. Your grounding practice will evolve as you do. I learned this the hard way during pregnancy and postpartum. What once felt energizing suddenly felt too much or simply unavailable. I had to slow down, modify, and listen to my body more closely even before. And then 10 weeks postpartum, I surprised myself by signing up for a 5K race. Maybe what I did was a bit too adventurous, too bold, but it worked for me. I felt like reclaiming part of me that I felt being so dormant so long. Our needs, pace, and wants change. Our bodies change. So does your grounding practice. Let it evolve as you evolve, like a relationship with a friend. It flows, sometimes closer, sometimes further away.